In this video, I'm going to show you an example of how difficult it can be to translate an English word or grammatical concept to Dutch. In this case, we're going to talk about the English word to and different ways to translate it to Dutch. The closest looking word in Dutch is the word te, but for which of the following English sentences do we actually use it in the Dutch translations? The answer is that we only use te for the final sentence. In the first three sentences, we don't translate the English word to at all. In a sense, we translate it with nothing, which is why I use the empty sign here. If you actually were to use te in the translations here, it would sound weird or redundant, and the English influence would show clearly. That's why I call it the English virus. The translated sentences are read as follows. Ik moet mijn huiswerk doen. We gaan deze week veel studeren. Wil je gaan? Ik probeer dit te vertalen. So what are the various ways to translate the English word to Dutch? Well, there are quite a few of them, as you can see in this overview. First of all, the word to as a preposition can be translated to different Dutch prepositions, depending on the verb it is connected to. If you want to say going to, you use gaan naar in Dutch, like in the first example sentence. Wij gaan naar die school. If you want to translate ask to, you use vragen aan. The example sentence is, wij vragen het aan de docent. If you want to translate say to in Dutch, you use zeggen tegen. The example sentence is read as, zij zeggen dat niet tegen ons. In this video, however, I focus on the last three possibilities of translating the word to. The first kind of case you already saw, where we don't use any word to translate, like in ik moet mijn huiswerk doen. The second case we also already have seen, where we do use the word te, as in ik probeer dit te vertalen. The third case is where we use the combination om te, which I will talk about later in this video. Now let's talk about a couple of verbs that go with the word te in Dutch. There are actually many of them, but I made a useful short list that came to my mind and may be useful for you at the beginning of your active language learning. If you keep on reading and listening to Dutch, you will learn more of them later. The first few verbs in this list that go in combination with the word te and the second verb in the infinitive are what I call verbs of positioning that express that something is taking place, which translates to the English present continuous. There are other ways in Dutch to translate the present continuous, but in this video I focus on sentences with the constructions below. In the first Dutch sentence, wij zitten een leuke film te kijken, it's not just that we are watching a nice movie, it's that we are watching it while sitting. In the second Dutch sentence, hij staat iemand te bellen, it's not just that he is calling someone, but that he is calling while standing. And in the third Dutch sentence, ze ligt in bed een boek te lezen, it's not just that she is reading a book in bed, she is doing it while lying down. You can often easily swap the words zitten, staan and liggen and picture the subject that is doing the action. Here are four more verbs that require the word te in combination with a second verb in the infinitive, namely beginnen, proberen, durven and hoeven. The example sentences are read as follows. We beginnen het te begrijpen. De studenten proberen het te begrijpen. Zij durven dat niet te doen. Hij hoeft deze opdrachten niet te doen. Hij hoeft alleen deze opdracht te doen. Please note that the last verb hoeven is only used for negation when you don't have to do something, or in a case where you only have to do a minimal or small amount of something. You should not use this verb in a standard sentence to express that something has to be done. For that we use the Dutch word moeten, which you already saw in an earlier slide in this video. Moving on to the topic om te. These two words together can be another translation for the English word to as well. There are three kinds of cases that you should know when we use this combination om te. The first case is where you express a purpose or a goal, as in the example sentence: Ik leer Nederlands om met mijn collega's te communiceren. The second case is where you provide more specification after mentioning an adjective. Take a look at the example sentence. If I say Nederlands is niet makkelijk, that would be a good sentence as well. But I can specify it further by saying Nederlands is niet makkelijk om snel te leren. The third case is where you provide more specification after mentioning a noun. A basic sentence in Dutch is Ik heb geen tijd, which means I have no time. But you can specify no time for what. Like here, ik heb geen tijd om te gaan, or ik heb geen tijd om Nederlands te leren, or ik heb geen tijd om jou te helpen. Now let's put what you just learned to the test. Can you translate the following 6 sentences? Feel free to pause the video and to go back to earlier slides if you need to. Here are the answers. The translations are read as follows. Wij hebben tijd om dit te doen. Hij moet dit doen. Zij proberen dat te doen. Ik zit, sta, lig dat nu te doen. Wij willen dit doen. Ze gaat dit doen om haar ouders blij te maken. Thank you for your attention. Leave your questions or comments in the comment section below and don't forget to subscribe. Speak to you in the next video.